What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Jackson. Let us go.
What's up, YouTube? Right now, you're hanging with Mr. Jackson. We are back with another reaction, y'all. I ain't do a reaction in a long time, but I had to do this reaction because I got people in my comments, man. I got people in my comments talking about POE2. It's made like a Souls-like game, y'all. You gotta learn the mechanics, man. You shouldn't have to learn that. They should have difficult modes like they did on POE1, y'all. It shouldn't be challenged like this, y'all. And Crip, he been playing ARPGs for a while. I've been playing it for a while myself. I'm a little older than him. He might look older than me, but I'm a little older than him. Probably a lot older than him. But he play games for a living, y'all. And he known for playing action RPGs, y'all. Hacking slash games. He known for that. He do this for a living. He make money off it, y'all. And he gonna explain it too, yo. Like POE, how the game is on POE2 right now is the same difficult mode it is on POE1, but it's a little harder. You ain't gonna keep new players, yo, like that, man. New players play games to relax. I know a lot of people like, this ain't a game to relax. That's why I say POE gonna be dead before you know it. Cause a lot of people ain't gonna want to play this game. Only certain people gonna play this game that was playing POE challenge mode, Ruthless. Those are the only people gonna be playing the game. Everybody else ain't gonna want to play this game, yo. Cause just like I said, I got a lot of people in my comments saying, yo, this is like a Souls-like game. And then I got more people in the comments saying, yo, this game is hard. I don't like this game. I been stopped playing. But enough of that, yo. We gonna get into it, yo. He gonna break it down for the people. For the people thinking that the game should continue to stay like this, he gonna break it down and let them know. Cause he said he been stopped playing. He just like I said, he a gamer. He been stopped playing. He love games like this. He love challenging games like this, and he been stopped playing. But enough of that, man. Let's go ahead and go get into this reaction.
Hey guys, how's it going? Kriparian here. Today I want to give you guys my take on Path of Exile 2. Haven't played it for several days, almost a week, but I have been playing like 14 plus hours a day. And I have been near the top of the ladder, so I have been playing quite efficiently. So basically I'm at the point right now where most people start to approach in like, you know, a few weeks time, depending on how much time you know, you might have to dedicate to the game. And I want to give you guys my opinion of things. And you might not agree with some things. You know, there's a game out there for everyone. And I think my opinion is valuable, at least.
He's trying to let you know this game don't be for you. So don't even waste your time. That we try to tell you. Don't waste your time because this game don't be for you. See, me, I love action RPG. I played Diablo when it first came out. Diablo 1 when it first came out, yo. I love action RPG games. That's how old I am. I had to dial up computer.
Because while you might have your own take on the game, you might be having a lot of fun right now. But yeah, I can kind of tell you how probably you will feel in some time, in a week's time, in 2 weeks' time, whatever. That's just kind of how these things work when you have people like me who just play every waking hour of the day, all day when the game comes out. So, as you have seen the title of the video, Path of Exile 2 is Ruthless. This is not like describing Path of Exile 2, though I guess it could describe Path of Exile 2. It is actually literal. Ruthless is a game mode in Path of Exile 1.
Thank you.
And in my opinion, the Ruthless game mode in Path of Exile 1 has been the pre-alpha test for Path of Exile 2. The concepts behind everything, the concepts behind scarcity, it is like the same thing. And again, I want you guys to understand this is not like an ignorant opinion. Ruthless is what I've mostly been playing in Path of Exile 1 since Path of Exile 1 added Ruthless to its game mode list. I have leveled many characters past 90, and level 90 in Ruthless is about equivalent to level 100 outside of Ruthless, so it is quite a task. And I really liked Ruthless, and for a lot of the reasons why I really like Ruthless, I quite like Path of Exile 2, but as you will see in today's video, there are certainly some issues that make it a little bit less fun, but it is pretty surprising to me.
You heard him? Less fun. And what do we do when we play games? Or what do we want when we play games? Fun.
Because I know a lot of people have been hyped for Path of Exile 2. A lot of people who played Path of Exile 1, they were kind of ridiculing Ruthless about how stupid of a game mode it is, and now they're basically playing the graphical and mechanical update to Ruthless, and everyone's having so much fun. How about that? I think Ruthless is fantastic in Path of Exile 1. I think people were overly dismissive about it, but the things that exist in Ruthless and Path of Exile 1 that people who typically play Path of Exile 1 didn't really like that much certainly are there, and honestly, to a higher degree in Path of Exile 2.
You heard him? A higher degree. That means it's harder than POE1. Difficult mode. Ruthless. How you gonna get new players to stay? Huh? How you gonna get new players to stay play something like that? I know they got a patch coming out, y'all. I just doing the review of this video for the people that's in my comments right now, yo. I know they putting a new patch out, yo, and they're making the game. I guess they listening to the audience. They listening to us, y'all, and they making the game a little, you know, a little more laid back for us. A little more laid back for us. And that's what I'm probably gonna come back when they put out that patch. But right now I'm done. I tried to come back yesterday, yo, and do the trial, yo. I'm level 48, y'all. I can't even do my own trial, y'all. Get to the boss at the end, yo. I'm trying to kite it and die right then. But let's get back into it.
So I think Path of Exile 2 may appeal to a new Path of Exile gamer, but I think a lot of people who really enjoy Path of Exile 1 may or may not like Path of Exile 2 in how the game is currently set up. Okay? But overall, I think Path of Exile 2 is a...
You see, get the new players at the beginning, but when the new players start getting to like level like 30, like 30-ish, like the end 30-ish, like 35 plus, they're gonna quit, y'all. I got a lot of comments of people, new players, that told me they quit it already.
A pretty good game. So you might be thinking, why is it like Ruthless? I just gave you a few examples here. I hope you guys have been enjoying the music. It's nice. Polish in the game is really, really good. Okay. Generally, it's...
I'm gonna turn my music back on because I don't think the music is copyright.
Like, you know, if you want to actually get, you know, high-tier maps, you have to literally fully invest in high-tier maps. If you want meaningful rewards from some of these, like League mechanics, you have to fully invest in them. If you just do them a little bit, they honestly feel like a waste of time. The game is filled with just real danger. It's super slow. It's super sluggish. This is the best movement skill that I have, and if you hit any object or a monster, you're stopped in your tracks, and it has a cooldown, and it has a lot of other limitations, so it is very much ruthless. It is also very unforgiving. The amount you have to invest to make a character work to go through a boss can be daunting, and honestly, it's not that fair either. Like, you see my character now, I have like 3,000 health with, like, honestly, an absurd amount of damage reduction mechanics, more than I've seen on any other character.
And I watched another person, yo. He had a warrior. He said he had 5,000 health, and he still was getting one shot. How? That's crazy.
Character, and I mean, you still got one shot. Like this character, high level maps, literally, you're getting one-shotted all the time. The main difference from Path of Exile 2 and Ruthless is actually the dodge roll. The dodge roll seems to be something they've balanced the game around, and honestly, I don't like it that much. I don't like the dodge roll that much in general, and I don't like the fact that they're balancing the game around it. So what do I mean by, how are they balancing the game around it, Crip? Well, in Path of Exile 1, if you want a really tanky character, you can make one. If you want to make a character that survives the highest damage ability in the game, you can do that. You're going to have crappy damage, it's going to have other disadvantages, but you can do that. In Path of Exile 2, you can't really do that. You can invest in as much health and as much survivability as possible, and you can get nearly one-tapped by a near max level map, granted, but like
you can't make a Death Knight witch. You can't make a Death Knight witch. You see his witch is like a Death Knight, y'all. Got a shield and everything, y'all. Still get one shot.
I did an expedition the other day, and I got killed in nearly one hit. Somebody's like 50 life with like 0.2 second reaction time, a tiny white bubble on the ground. The visual clarity and understanding the danger of the events you're facing.
And just like I said, I know they're putting in a patch out for this, but still, why this was in the game in the first place? You ain't had nobody to test the game. Why is like one place I went to, with like these purple roses? I'm like, why does my HP keep going down? Same thing that what happened to him was happening to me, yo. I'm like, every time I would be fighting from a distance with my witch, y'all, and my minions is in front of me. It's like my minions not even in front of me because the enemies go right past them and come right towards me, and like I be getting died up, yo, and like, why y'all ain't fighting my minions? They're right in front of me. Like, it's like they not even there.
Is not good in Path of Exile 2, and combined with the fact that you almost can't survive anything unless you are looking at everything all the time and utilizing your dodge roll. Like, there are many boss mechanics that if you mistime your dodge roll, you will get one shot. And I do want to also mention that I've taken a look at a lot of other people's builds. A lot of content creators are making builds and stuff. The way the game is set up is, if you want to progress, if you want to level, if you want to reach the highest tier maps, you need to make a character that doesn't, like, almost ever die. A lot of the builds that I've seen are people doing like tier 1 and tier 2 maps with like less than 2,000 health, and I'm pretty much going to straight up say it. Some of you guys might not like this, but those guides are not worth anything when it comes to dealing with like actual high level maps. Because in actual high level maps, if you have 3,000 health, 5,000 armor, are using active block, are keeping your distance, have damage mitigation, have armor applied to elemental damage, have damage reduction by like 20%, have a bunch of minions protecting you from a copious amount of projectiles, you're still gonna get nearly one-shotted.
So he's trying to say, if you got 2,000 health, 3,000 health, it doesn't matter. You still gonna get one shot. Oh, well, if I was you, I'd probably try to be a glass cannon and put all my points in deep and damage and try to kill them all before they kill me. Because it doesn't matter how much HP you got. You can have 2,000, 3,000. Just like I told you, the other person, he had about 5,000 HP, yo, with his warrior. And he still was getting one shot.
Constantly, repeatedly. Okay, that's the game. So if you see someone, it's like, oh wow, this build is so good, I'm gonna tell you, you're in for disappointment. I've seen like 1,700 life builds. They're just like cruising through tier 1 and 2 maps. That's all they're gonna do. Okay, that's all. That's it. You maybe add like 5 tiers, and then you start getting one-shotted in every third map. That actually makes the character unplayable at that point. Because if you die in a map, the map is lost. Effectively, the progression to get to that map tier is lost. You are basically completely screwed. And you're set back because you do lose experience if you die at,
and that's
I think it's level 70-something plus. You actually lose 15% experience, I believe.
That's dumb.
A lot of experience. So it might mean that you also never level up. Okay.
So what's the use of getting the end game? If you die, it's like you ain't go. If you keep dying, like you ain't gonna never level up. So you used to play end game. You gonna be stressed. You gonna be stressed out by playing end game. You ain't gonna have no fun.
So it is truly ruthless. It is beyond ruthless in that sense. All right. So let's back up a little bit. You're checking out Path of Exile 2 for the first time, and I want to kind of go over things and offer mostly my issues with the game, because you've probably heard enough positivity. I've actually quite enjoyed my playthrough. Overall, I think it's very fun to play Path of Exile 2. I recommend it for you guys to try. Okay, so you start up the game. You're in the early game. The main thing that I dislike in the early game is gems and balance. I don't like their gem system more than I like Path of Exile 1's gem system.
Yep.
Because you can't farm to get character power.
Can't
in
level
Path of
up your
Exile 1,
gems.
if you're playing a character that maybe is just not so good in the early game, or maybe it's not so good in the mid game, what you can do is you can stay in a zone a little bit longer, kill a bunch more monsters, your gems will level up, and this will be like over leveling, and it'll make the content that you're about to do a little bit less challenging.
Yeah.
It kind of has this forgiveness, and it allows Path of Exile 1 to have broadly very well balanced content, because, well, you're not forcing people into at this point you have to defeat that, which is a nice concept in general, but if it's too rigid, which in my opinion in Path of Exile 2 it is, because largely of their gem system, it doesn't feel very good. In Path of Exile 2, if you're facing a boss and the boss is too hard, your options are basically to farm a zone for hours and hours and hours, and you'll get like 2%, maybe 10% character power if you get an item upgrade. Because getting another couple levels, it's not giving you that much power. The passive tree, there's not that much power there. Your gem...
It seems like you ain't doing hardly no more damage. I'm so... what's the name of that boss? Vapor? I think it's Vapor. I'm surprised I beat that boss, y'all. I lucked out, y'all. I had about 5% left of health, and I killed her. Y'all. I was so happy. I was so oh my god, I killed her. But yeah, some of these bosses, man, I had to fight at least 3 or 4 times before I beat them. And you think a new person? See, I'm just like I said, I'm used to action RPG games, so I could just learn the mechanics, as I keep dying, I'll learn the mechanics. And once I learn the mechanics, it's a wrap for me. It's easy to... But, some people ain't going to deal with all that.
Gems, you literally can't level them. The way that gems work is the level of a gem drops from a level of a zone. So if you can't beat a boss in the campaign, you can't increase the level of your gems. The best you can do is match the level of the gems of that zone, which usually, again, doesn't give you that much character power if your main gem is already of that level. So it gets a little bit tricky, because they're kind of setting themselves up for a real challenge in finding some sort of balance to this, because not every class is going to be pretty balanced in every single stage of the game, especially the early game. In my opinion, Path of Exile 1's gem system is amazing. I think it's the best skill system in an ARPG. I think it's a 10 out of 10 in terms of mechanics. It can look a little bit daunting, but in Path of Exile 2, it is a little bit more polished of a system. It looks a little bit less daunting, but it's actually not, because the core mechanics and the scaling and the optimal setups are still going to be like Giga Theory crafted. It's not really any simpler in that sense. It might be a little bit simpler for the player that doesn't want to look literally anything up and just wants to dive into the game. I don't know how many players like that there are these days. Maybe there's quite a few, maybe there's not. I don't know. Maybe that's something that they're keeping in mind. But overall, the core idea that you can't get power from gems is really kind of weak, in my opinion. And I also think that it's really lame that it's trivialized with trading. So if you're playing in a trading environment, you do trivialize everything. You literally trivialize everything. You can be like, well, all these other players that have been playing the game like crazy, I can just buy a max level gem from them. Because, my character, I've been doing some of the highest tier maps. I have 30 gems that are level 18 or something. I have so many. They're worthless to me, right? So someone who's playing behind me, just Crip, I want to buy one of your level 18 gems. They literally missed out an enormous amount of progression. Yeah. And this problem really does start in their gem system, and you feel this problem right away in the early parts of the campaign. For me, Act 2 was the hardest part of the game. Not of the campaign. Of the entire game, The hardest part was Act 2. Why? Because I didn't get any skill gems. They're pretty rare in the campaign. I just didn't get one.
Dang.
I went from a level 6 Raging Spirits to a level 10 at the start of Act 3. And in Act 2, I had 0 gem upgrades for my main source of damage.
For
It
me,
was
it was
actually awful.
For me, it was Act 3. Yeah, it took me the longest in Act 3. Act 2, I think Act 2 I did like the quickest. Act 1 was like the second I did, and then Act 3 was the longest.
And yeah, that doesn't feel good, right? It's like nothing. There's nothing I could do in terms of character power other than mindlessly grind the same zone and hope that I get a gem drop. But the buff gems, the spirit cost gems, are just like really, really rare. So yeah, I just didn't get one. A lot of people played the build guide. Glad you guys enjoyed it. And it's like, yeah, no problems, Crip. Build's great. Thank you. It's like, yeah, but you know, if you get unlucky with gems, it's not going to feel super great.
Nope.
In the mid game, you're going to start to do ascendancies. The ascendancy system is kind of frustrating. Basically, ascendancies are not free like they are in Path of Exile 1. Getting your first ascendancy point is pretty easy. Getting your second one,
I didn't know it was free in POE1. See, just like I said, I played POE1, but I ain't never got that far. I quit right at the beginning because of that tree. That tree just had me confused, yo. So I quit.
you have to do like an ultimatum. An ultimatum is insane RNG. You can do the same ultimatum and it can be unbelievably easy. It's like just clearing white trash mobs, or it can be borderline impossible for the build that you're currently playing.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a very good system. I like the idea behind it, but generally it feels that at least the first 3 ascendancy like groups should be a little bit more free, so people could actually kind of, you know, take in the class that they're meaning to play.
Yeah.
I don't feel you should have to like go that hard for it. It's also Sanctum. Forced Sanctum is not something that everyone's going to like. You might like Sanctum in Path of Exile 1. I know a lot of you guys did, but in Sanctum, I played in Ruthless. And let me tell you something about Sanctum and Ruthless. With absolutely 0 movement skills or teleports, Sanctum is not all that fun. A lot of people have been seriously spoiled with Flame Dash to levels that you can't imagine anymore until you hit up some of the Sanctums. Like, I had to do
He ain't lie about that, yo. The rooms be so small, man. You got like 30 enemies on you. And just like I said, I'm a witch. So my minions, yo, when they come down, it's like they're running right through them to me, yo. It's like they ain't paying no attention to my minions, yo. It's like they don't even know my minions there. They just coming straight for me. And I'm a witch. So I don't have no armor. I had the shield. The force shield. My force shield is at like 400 and something, yo. At my level, a lot of people have the force shield at like 700 and something. So my junk is kind of low. So I could easily die.
a 4-floor Sanctum for the 4th Ascendancy major node. Those are crazy. Also in the mid game, you're going to start to see balance start to come in. You're going to start to see one-shots. It's not really easy. I was going to say not possible, but it's kind of possible. It's not really easy to significantly increase your survivability. It's going to be a case where you can't really cap a lot of your resists while you're doing the campaign, but if you're lucky, maybe you'll be able to.
Yeah, and I know y'all say, but in the patch, you say you're going to fix all that in the patch, but just like I said, I'm just putting out this video for people that was trying to fanboy protect the game. I'm looking out for not just certain people. I'm looking out for everybody that want to play the game, yo. Your game shouldn't be for a certain group. Just like I said, if this game was right here for a certain group, this game right here won't grow. It won't grow at all, y'all. You won't get no new players. It gotta be more than just for a group of people.
but you'll still reach that point where you just can't do a whole lot about it. You can't gain that much survivability from the passive skill tree because there's like only 2% life nodes. They're 3%, so they're hardly even worth it. It's almost worth it to just get strength on the skill tree everywhere. So because you can't actually make your character more meaningfully tanky, the bosses are literally starting to just one-shot you. And it's going to be a case where, again, you either time your dodge roll properly or you die.
Yeah.
And this notion starts around the mid-game in the campaign and continues for the rest of the game for most
Tell
builds.
you like your late 30s.
In the end game, and generally for end game, I'm talking about like at least mid-tier maps to end game maps, because the early game maps are actually really easy. You can just dive into the early game maps like they're absolutely nothing. There really isn't that much to them. Like if you're doing a tier 1 map, it's like it's a snooze fest for the Necro Infernalist. But yes, as you go into like tier 6, tier 10 maps, it starts to get pretty serious. The endgame is entirely balanced around avoiding one-shots with dodge, pretty much. You're going to see some streamers who are just ridiculously good at the game, at micromanaging the distance between them and the mobs, and they're going to play builds that are barely over 2k health in the highest tier maps. And I'm going to tell you that you are not going to enjoy that experience, speaking to like 99.9% of you. You basically need like 3,000 health and armor and ridiculous defenses to not get repeatedly one-shot, and you'll still get one-shot if you don't dodge at the right times, especially on like bosses and things.
But I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there, y'all. If y'all want to finish watching this video, man, this is his channel right here. Go check it out, man. He's just breaking it down. I just want y'all to hear my reasons, and not just me. Just like I said, this guy right here, he's a vet. He played games for a living. He played every action RPG game I think come out. He'll try it, and he'll post videos about it and let you know about it. When I first started watching him, he was playing Diablo 3. When I first started watching him, he was playing Diablo 3. When I first started watching him. I'm gonna end it right there, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. If y'all want me to see, if y'all want to see more reactions, out of me, let me know in the comments who you want me to react over. And I see you. Peace. I'm out.